This meeting of the Board of Chosen Freeholders of Middlesex County, the greatest county in the land, will please come to order. I just, on a lighter note, want to first thank everyone for being so kind to Ron Rios and Millie Scott and Dave Cragill in this past election. It certainly was a great victory, and we appreciate it very, very much. I want to say that Mayor McCormick's of Woodbridge father passed away yesterday. The wake and funeral information is as follows. Will be held at Costello's funeral home in Island, Saturday 7 to 9, Sunday 2 to 4, and Sunday 7 to 9. And the funeral will be held at St. Cecilia's Church Monday at 10 a.m. in Island. On a lighter note, also wish happy birthday to Peg Chester, who's 39 years of age today. And now it's a pleasure to call upon the Deacon Frank J. Camarano of St. Francis of Assisi Cathedral in Metuchen for prayer. And Deacon, it's nice to have you here tonight.
Thank you. It's also nice to be with you again. I thank you for inviting me. It's always a joy and an honor and a pleasure to be here with you. Let us pray. Good and gracious God, we come before you tonight, first to ask you to continue to hold close to you all those who have died serving our country. We ask that you also watch over their families, bring them the comfort that they need. We ask you to watch over those who continue to serve us for our freedom, keep them free from harm, and bring them home safely with great speed. God, we thank you for the many blessings that you have bestowed us here in this county of Middlesex. We thank you for the Board of Freeholders who give of their talent and time, making Middlesex the finest county in New Jersey, and I would say in the United States. We thank you for giving them the know-how for providing us with fine services offered for the people, regardless of age, color, nationality, religion, or lack thereof. Oh God, we ask for your continued blessings upon this board. Give them the strength and courage to continue the hard work for the people of Middlesex County, both in good times and in bad. May they continue to keep the citizens of Middlesex first in their mind as they serve them. Bless all the freeholders, Freeholder Director Crabiel, Freeholders Delina, Valenti, Fernicola, Polis, Rofano, Reyes. Congratulations to Freeholder Director Crabiel, Freeholder Reyes, and Freeholder-elect Scott. To Freeholder Fernicola, we say thank you for the years of service and a job well done. And may God be with you when you retire at the end of the year.
Thank you.
Heavenly Father, you have told us in many ways and many times that we are all created equal. We thank you again for showing us that we are with the election of Barack Obama. We ask your blessings on our president-elect and on his family. We ask that you hold his grandmother in your arms of mercy. Bless our county, our state, and God bless America. Amen.
Thank you, Deacon, and Camille Fernicola thanks you as well.
I certainly do. Thank you.
Salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The notice of this meeting pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-10 has been complied with and shall be entered into the minutes of this meeting. Madam Clerk, Margaret Pemberton, roll call.
Freeholder Delina.
I might say that Freeholder Delina called this afternoon. He has a very bad cold, and that's the reason that he's excused tonight.
Freeholder Fernicola.
Here.
Freeholder Polo. Freeholder Rafano.
Here.
Freeholder Rios.
Here.
Freeholder Valenti.
Here.
Freeholder Director Crabeel.
Present. Will deviate from the regular order of business for the purpose of introducing three ordinances. Clerk will read ordinance number 343C by title only, but before doing so, I'm going to ask Al Kashinkas, the Controller and Budget Director, to make a comment on these three ordinances.
Freeholders and public. The three ordinances are not adding any funds to be bonded. All they're doing is changing the description, adding to the description of the ordinance. The first one, 343, is changing the description on the Dunn House on East Jersey Old Town to include the Dunn House, the Wagon House, and other structures that are in that vicinity. 362 is changing the description of the detention center to include the fire alarm system that's in need of repair and exchange. And that totals about $60,000, but again, it's included in the total ordinance. The last one, 360B, adds the intersection of Finnegans Lane and Route 1 Brunswick, which is a project that will be undertaken sometime this year.
Clerk will read ordinance number 343C by title only.
Bond ordinance, amending bond ordinance number 343, various 2003 capital improvements, heretofore finally adopted by the County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, on April 3, 2003, as amended and supplemented, to amend the description therein, authorizing the public hearing to be held on Monday, November 24, 2008, at 7 p.m., and publication thereof.
Motion is in order to adopt ordinance number 343C on first reading.
Motion.
Second.
It's been moved by Freeholder Rafano, seconded by Freeholder Valenti. Any discussion? Clerk will please call the roll.
Freeholder Fronicola?
Yes.
Freeholder Polos?
Yes.
Freeholder Rafano?
Yes.
Freeholder Rios?
Yes.
Freeholder Valenti?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Crabeel.
Aye. Declare the ordinance passed on first reading. Clerk will read ordinance number 362B by title only.
Bond ordinance, amending bond ordinance number 362, various 2006 capital improvements, heretofore finally adopted by the County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, on March 2, 2006, as amended and supplemented, to amend the description therein, authorizing the public hearing to be held on Monday, November 24, 2008, at 7 p.m., and publication thereof.
Motion is in order to adopt ordinance number 362B on first reading.
Motion.
Second.
It's been moved by Freeholder
Valenti.
Valenti, seconded by Freeholder Rafano. Any discussion? Clerk will please call the roll.
Freeholder Fronicola?
Yes.
Freeholder Polos?
Yes.
Freeholder Rafano?
Yes.
Freeholder Rios?
Yes.
Freeholder Valenti?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Crabeel.
Aye. Declare the ordinance passed on first reading. Clerk will read ordinance number 366B by title only.
Bond ordinance, amending bond ordinance number 366, various engineering department capital improvements, heretofore finally adopted by the County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, on March 1, 2007, as amended and supplemented, to amend the description therein, authorizing the public hearing to be held on Monday, November 24, 2008, at 7 p.m., and publication thereof.
Motion is in order to adopt ordinance number 366B on first reading.
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved by Rafano, seconded by Valenti. Any discussion? Clerk will please call the roll.
Freeholder Fronicola?
Yes.
Freeholder Polos?
Yes.
Freeholder Rafano?
Yes.
Freeholder Rios?
Yes.
Freeholder Valenti?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Crabeel.
Aye. Declare the motion passed and ordinance adopted on first reading. Reports of freeholders. We're going to do something a little unusual tonight, but for Freeholder Delina's report, the Deputy Director of the Board, I'm going to ask Anna Askinas, Director of Cultural and Heritage, to make his report. Anna?
Good evening. First of all, I know Freeholder Delina wants to invite all of you to a performance in Monroe on November 21st at 7 p.m. It's at Monroe High School Auditorium called the Marasco Theater, and it's the very famous Thunderbird American Indian Dancers. And there is no charge, but everyone should call my office to register in advance. Secondly, it's always a pleasure to work for my department, to work with Carl Spatero, who is the Director of Economic Development. And the two of us contributed information and images to this publication on Middlesex County. It's the first time that we've done tourism and economic development combined. So not only is that a boon for businesses that looking to move into the county, but also to others in the sense of we have enough places of interest, historic sites and arts going on, that we are a tourism destination as well. And these will be going out to all the libraries for their counters, and to municipalities, to the senior retirement communities as well. And if anyone would like a copy, Carl has them, I have them, and we'll be distributing them. And then lastly, we just opened at our museum called the Cornelius Lau House a project on the period of time called the Gilded Age. And this is our poster, which was funded by New Jersey Historical Commission. The Gilded Age was quite fascinating because it was the time of the robber barons, enormous wealth and enormous poverty at the same time. Child labor was rampant. So here you have this class of people that lived in supreme luxury, and then children being pulled out of school and working in the factories. So it was really a fascinating time here in New Jersey and Middlesex County, and that'll be up through next year. And I thank you all very much, and especially the Freeholders, for your continued support.
Thank you, Anna. Freeholder Camille Fernicola from the Township of Piscataway.
Thank you, Freeholder. Before I begin my report, I'd like to congratulate you and Freeholder-elect Millie Scott and Freeholder Ron Rios for a job well done. And I'm sure you're very happy you were the top vote getter, Freeholder Graybiel. I'm going to split my report tonight. First, I have a statement. Tonight, Middlesex County will be receiving a donation provided by Novo Nordisk Incorporated, whose headquarters for North American business is located in our own Plainsboro Township. Novo Nordisk is a healthcare company and a world leader in diabetes care. Thus is one of the largest producers of self-injected pharmaceuticals. Ms. Julia Chang Meisler, Strategic Business Operation Trade, is here on behalf of Novo Nordisk to present the donation. Ms. Zhang Meisler will be the company's liaison with Middlesex County. This will be an initial donation by the company to help fund a joint educational endeavor for the safe disposal of sharps. Novo Nordisk has approached Middlesex County to seek a partnership intended to educate syringe users in the county on the proper disposal of used sharps. The initiative will be undertaken on behalf of Middlesex County by our Division of Solid Waste Management and the Department of Public Health under Freeholder Rios, and David A. Pappy, Director. The Public Health Department Nursing Division, headed by Deborah Gash, will take the lead on the Safe Disposable Sharps Education Project. Ms. Gash's staff provides services to sharp users and has the best insight as to steps that can be taken to properly and effectively inform those county residents who will benefit by this educational endeavor. The county's Division of Solid Waste Management will also assist in the formulation and implementation of this project. The initial goal of this project will be for the county, with input from Novo Nordisk, to prepare an informational brochure concerning sharps and the proper manner in which to handle their proposal and disposal. We are thankful to Novo Nordisk for initiating this valuable program for those residents of Middlesex County who are users of medical sharps. This is yet another example of a private-public partnership intended to assist Middlesex County residents in properly addressing the safe disposal of sharps. Now, I understand Ms. Julia Zhang Meisler is here, and she'd like to make a presentation. I'll invite Freeholder Rios to come up to the microphone with us. And Ms. Zhang Meisler, would you please join us? And Richard Hales, the director of our Solid Waste Management Program. And we have members of our Public Health Department. Would you all join us here, please? And Rich, would you like to make a statement before and introduce Ms. Zhang Meisler again?
Okay. Freeholders and audience, this all started several months ago when I got a phone call from the representative from Novo Nordisk that was looking to do a project jointly between the county and Novo Nordisk, who is a major pharmaceutical supplier for sharps and insulin and for diabetes in the county. And I was quite pleased to know that they wanted to do this joint educational process so that the residents of Middlesex County that maybe didn't have the opportunity to dispose of their used sharps safely would have the opportunity through the proper educational approach to be able to do so. We often get calls at the Division of Solid Waste Management from residents of the county asking how to properly dispose of sharps. And a lot of hospitals in the area will take the sharps back. Some doctors' offices will. But most people can't get out and are not mobile to be able to take these sharps to the proper disposal point. And research done by Novo Nordisk has shown that there are something in the order of about 8 billion sharps that are being improperly disposed of every year. Novo Nordisk has stepped up and has offered financial assistance to the county, mainly through the Department of Health, that will be responsible for the major educational information that will be disseminated to the public. And the Division of Solid Waste Management will assist them in every way possible in reaching out to that portion of the public that we feel should be reached with the information that we have to share. So this will be a joint partnership between Novo Nordisk, between the county health department, and the Division of Solid Waste Management. And we have Julia Zhang Meisler here this evening, the representative who was kind enough to reach out for us back in the summer. And we know that she will make a very good partner for the county in continuing this educational program in the months to come. Julie, would you like to say something?
Should just leave it here. There you go. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a real pleasure here. As Mr. Richard here mentioned, we are passionate about help the local community establish safe sharp disposal programs. And this is a very small step. This is reflected of our company, Novo Nordisk, triple bottom line. Any sound business, really, we have environmental sounding and social awareness. This is why I'm here, and I'm sure between Middlesex County Solid Waste Management and the Public Health Department will make it happen. It is very small step, but it is good beginning. Hopefully, we have a good success. We have a successful working relationship for the years to come. Thank you.
Thank you. a check for $1,000. All right. You want to come here? Yes.
Shut off automatically. You need the power saver. You have to get a green
Turn it
camera.
back on again?
Good.
Do you need the flash or no?
Yeah. Yes. So this is going to be our team, right?
This is our team.
Ready, smile. No, it's not working. But I got the other ones before.
Okay.
Hold on.
Well, we have a backup. We have a backup
We have a
here.
backup. Excellent.
Okay.
Great, it works now.
There you go.
Okay?
What's there for these people? Very nice.
Here's the check. That's awfully big. Jerry Springer, no, that was
All right, I'm not finished yet. I'm sorry. Normally, you'll notice that I'm very quiet during my reports, but now I have a second part of a report. I'm pleased to announce that on tonight's agenda, the Board of Chosen Freeholders will be approving the award of 8 recycling enhancement grants totaling $48,712 to the following communities: Cranberry Township, $5,000; Edison Township, $9,360; Borough of Highland Park, $3,364; Borough of Metuchen, $7,088; City of New Brunswick, $5,000 even;
that's all we're getting?
North Brunswick Township, $5,702; Borough of South Plainfield, $8,198; Woodbridge Township, $5,000. The award of these grants is based on applications submitted for municipal initiatives designed to improve and/or enhance various recycling-related projects. Since this program began in 2004, $365,674 in matching funds has been awarded to help fund 36 municipal recycling initiatives. The funds to be used for these awards are derived from a grant provided by the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection. All of the award-winning projects will ultimately assist Middlesex County in maintaining its lead in achieving the state's 60% recycling rate. And that's my report, Freeholder. Thank you.
Freeholder H. James Polis from the Borough of Highland Park.
Thank you, Director. First, I want to thank the Freeholder Board, particularly Freeholder Director Krabiel, for their support in developing the new Green Economic Development Zone initiative, which we announced as a board about a week and a half ago. The purpose of this Green Economic Development Zone is to turn our brownfields into greenfields, create an opportunity for new green-collar jobs in our county, grow our economy, create job opportunities for our residents, also develop curriculum within our university at Rutgers, the county college, and our VOTEC to be able to train individuals within our county to take on new jobs, which we hope to attract with the assistance of 3 state agencies, including the Department of Labor, the New Jersey Economic Development Authority, and the Department of Community Affairs, all of whom have endorsed and given full support to this initiative, which we think will in many ways be a pilot program. We'll be looking forward to working also with our Workforce Improvement Board, with Jane Brady, and the money that's available through the federal government and also through the state to create green-collar opportunities. And I think that this is going to be a great step forward. And our goal is to actually appoint and create the board officially, the advisory board, at our next Freeholder meeting. There is an item on the agenda tonight that I want to bring the board's attention to. It is an item that has significant financial implications on our county and one that we should be very proud of. I want to start off by complimenting our purchasing department for once again doing a yeoman's job and going out to solicit the best prices possible. The board will recall that approximately 8 years ago, we created a cooperative buying program in Middlesex County, which we affectionately call Common Sense, C-E-N-T-S, not S-A-E-N-S-E. Common sense because it saves money not only for our county but also for our municipalities. It is using the buying power of Middlesex County to get the best prices possible, certainly using the expertise and talent of our purchasing department under our purchasing agent Jack Garber, soliciting the best prices available and then making those prices available to our municipalities. And now, as we move forward, our school districts and so forth will be able to participate as well. Tonight, we have on for resolution adoption of the SALT contract. Now, this is just one example of the significant savings that can occur as a result of good bidding practices in our county. We'll be awarding a bid tonight to a company that is going to be providing, I believe it's Cargill, correct? Is that the one that's going to be successful bidder tonight, Jack? Atlantic? I'm sorry, Atlantic Salt for $64.50 a ton for salt. The reason why that's important is because the state also has a buying co-op. Many of you have heard the word state contract pricing, which is often thrown about, which is the state's way of trying to provide cooperative purchasing pricing. The state contract price for the same salt is $75.84 a ton. That difference will result in a savings to this county this season of approximately $218,800. That's a huge savings for the taxpayers of Middlesex County by going through a good bid process, not utilizing the state contract. But it percolates beyond this county. This pricing will now be made available to the political subdivisions of our county, which means our small towns who would never have had the ability to go out with this buying power will now be able to buy at our reduced costs. And if you think for a moment the impact that will have on their local economy, their local taxpayer, and their local cost, it's significant. So compliments to our purchasing agent, compliments to the program of buying and purchase power, which we need to expand and see continue to grow because it's really the right way to go for our county. Last but not least, I want to compliment also our freeholders for their re-election, Freeholder Craybill and Freeholder Rios and Freeholder Millie Scott, newly elected. Congratulations. Looking forward to continue to work with you. And I think that your stunning election was probably just slightly pale in comparison to the election of our new president, but it certainly was an historic moment. And I think that it's appropriate to at least say at this point, because it really is a very historic moment. And I have to tell you, I looked at my kids. My youngest daughter, Sophia, is only 5, and obviously had no idea what the presidential election is about, but someday she will, and realized that she was really, in a very indirect way, a part of that celebration. I mean, to think for the moment of the campaign and the fact that Barack Obama was elected and now has an opportunity to bridge many gaps in our nation. He certainly has made that commitment and has had the vision to do that, and many of us believe that he will effectively carry out that vision and goals. And we have so many gaps that need to be bridged, both politically and economically, socially, racially, and I believe that he certainly is the right person to be able to do that regardless of your political affiliation. We need to support our new president in every way possible and give him the best opportunity that he has, certainly under some very difficult economic circumstances, international circumstances, and security circumstances that we face each day. So my hat's off to him and his campaign. We wish him good luck, Godspeed to him and his family, who will have to endure quite a bit. I can't even begin to imagine what a wife and children have to go through at the side of a sitting president each and every day. So I know that they have a tall order ahead of them as well, and we certainly would give them our best. And we have to always remember we are still one nation under God, indivisible, and we need to remain that way. Thank you.
Thank you, Freeholder. Freeholder Christopher D. Rufano from the Borough of South River.
Thank you, Freeholder Director. I, too, would like to congratulate you and Freeholder Rios and Freeholder-elect Millie Scott. Certainly was a resounding victory for you. The margin of that victory was the largest I think I've ever seen. So I think that says a lot about how the people of Middlesex County feel about you, about our county government. So congratulations. I'm looking forward to working with all of you, tackling the many issues that face our county. As liaison to the Middlesex County Board of Elections and County Clerk, I want to commend both those offices as well as the employees that work there in the days and weeks leading up to the election, and actually today too. They're still working hard, and I know that with the provisional ballots. Just to give you an idea, we had 55,000 newly registered voters in Middlesex County alone. And what they had to do is get those voters into our computer system so that when they went to vote, they were in the books and could vote without any difficulty. I'm pleased to say that we accomplished that by working. We had 7 days a week, 14 hours a day to get that accomplished, and so it was quite a feat for them to get that done. There were some counties, you may have read in the paper, that weren't able to do that. So those new voters were forced to vote provisionally, and that's really not right. So we put the effort forward to have them in the system, in the books, and everything went well. No major issues were reported. They are working on provisional ballots as we speak, and the absentees were actually 17,000 absentee ballots, so it was very large, and they did a very, very nice job and good job for the citizens of Middlesex County. That's all I have.
Freeholder Ronald G. Rios, the first freeholder from Carteret.
Thank you, Freeholder Director, and I'd like to thank all my colleagues for your kind remarks and thank all the residents of Middlesex County that voted for myself, Freeholder Director Crabiel. Congratulations to you as well, and Freeholder-elect Millie Scott. It was really humbling, and I feel honored and proud that I was given the opportunity to serve for another year. On my report, I would like to say our flu clinics, flu immunization clinics continue through the health department. We have a new, we're going to start a new initiative this year. Our mobile clinic trailer will be brought to different sites throughout the county to help our residents with the flu clinics and the pneumonia clinics as well. Our county health department directory is published for 2008-2009, and it's available through the health department to call the health department. As far as the vocational school, we have a 9th grader. Her name is Eva Mormon. She's a 9th grade student at our Academy of Allied Health and Biomedical Services, and she was named through the Middlesex County Chamber of Commerce Entrepreneur of the Year, Young Entrepreneur of the Year, I'm sorry. And that's quite commendable for a 9th grade student to be named that. Through our Rutgers Extension Services, we continue to teach 4-H workshops and our teen leader program through the 4-Hers, and continued success in public health and education. That concludes my report, Freeholder Director. Thank you.
Freeholder Blanquita Bird Valenti from the city of New Brunswick, the county seat.
Thank you, Freeholder Director. Again, I want to join my colleagues in congratulating you heartily for all the time you've served, and the voters recognize your great contributions to this county, as well as to my partner here on the right, Ron Rios, for election for 1 year. We'll be with you again next year. And, of course, to Millie Scott, our freeholder-elect. And I want to thank Camille Fernicola for all the help she's given me on my first 4 years on this board. She's been extremely helpful, and I appreciate your help and your friendship. So I wish all of you a speedy, wonderful year ahead. Now, I have some reminders to the Board of Freeholders that Sunday, this coming Sunday, November the 9th at 2 p.m., the Middlesex County Veterans Day commemoration will be held, as usual, at Veterans Memorial Roosevelt Park in Edison. It's a beautiful ceremony. It's brief. It doesn't take a long time. And there will be a wreath laying as well as a Pledge of Allegiance, taps, and the presentations of the colors and the color guards firing detail. So anyone who can make it, not only members of the Board of Freeholders, but members of the public, we'd love to see you there on Sunday at 2 p.m. I have some good news. The Middlesex County Regional Chamber of Commerce presented at its Middlesex County Business Awards breakfast a lovely plaque, County Service Award, to our McFoods, our Middlesex County Emergency Food Network. And it was wonderful to get this recognition for McFoods, and of course it's run by MCIA and Jennifer Apostle, but again, thanks to our former freeholder Jane Brady, who got this going some time ago. And today I got another piece of very good news because I had reached out to Johnson & Johnson for a food drive since we were running very low at our shelves over there at McFoods. And next week, from November the 10th to November 14th, at the world headquarters, J&J is having a big food drive and asking their employees to please bring all the items that were listed that normally are non-perishable, as well as gift cards from the various food supermarkets in the area. So I want to thank Jeffrey Vega, who gave me the name of the individual on the board of NBT, who I reached out to, and we worked it out very, very well. I'm very happy about this because we could use the food at this time. I also want to state that I attended the volunteer recognition potluck dinner by the literacy programs of New Jersey. All these people who attended are volunteers, and they are growing in leaps and bounds. They say they had about 800 clients this year, and they're really looking for funds because they would like to take care of everybody, and it's getting very, very difficult by the day. And last but not least, I attended with Freeholder Director Craybill the opening of the Laurel House in Middlesex County, which is located on Livingston Avenue in New Brunswick. And it's a structured, welcoming place where people with ongoing mental illness come to gain support and learn to work and rebuild their lives. And I wish them a lot of luck in this initial year. And I want to thank the Board of Freeholders for supporting them. The ribbon cutting ceremony took place on the day of all the snow, October 28th at 3 o'clock. And it was a great event, and people there were very happy with this initiative that hopefully will be very helpful. It's located in an easy accessible area on Livingston Avenue, right by the bus line, since many of their clients will be getting there by bus. Thank you, Freeholder Director. This is my report.
As mentioned by Freeholder Valenti, I did attend the Laurel House dedication along with Tom Solheimer, department head of the county government. We had contributed some funding for that project. It's certainly does a lot for disabled people, and we congratulate them for moving forward. I, along with some of the freeholders who were in attendance at the Jewish Renaissance Medical Center, the Robert Menendez Medical Arts Building on October 27, and I heard Wilma Diaz of Perth Amboy spoke along with Senator Menendez, and it was certainly was a great event. And Alan Goldsmith, who's been very much involved in that group for many years, he must have seen reason to be most proud on that. I talked to some of the freeholders, but not all. I think I missed one. But the reorganization meeting, Freeholder Polis, we're talking about having it on the first Friday of January at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, if that fits your schedule, since I didn't talk to you.
That's okay. What date is that? January 2nd?
You checking?
Yeah, I'm going to have to check tomorrow because I know we're going to be on vacation for a few days during the winter break. But I will let you know tomorrow. I just need to check when we're returning.
What time is it? At 3?
Well, when are you going on vacation?
I have to check tomorrow. I just don't know the date off the top of my head.
Well, we're talking about on January 2nd, Friday, at the Middlesex County
Friday.
College Performing Arts Building. And I guess we could wait till the next meeting to make the formal decision.
We could.
Is that possible?
Yes.
All right, so we'll hold till then because we should have every freeholder in attendance. If that date is not agreeable, then please let us know when it would be, because it has to be in the first 7 days, I believe.
Sure.
Yes.
And the last thing I want to report, I have a nice letter that I'm CC'd on from, addressed to Margaret Chester, Executive Director, Middlesex County Department of Aging, from the state of New Jersey. Says, thank you for your cooperative corrective action plans for the 2007 annual assessment. The division finds that all performance standards have been adequately addressed and will conduct a follow-up to this annual assessment at the time of the on-site assessment to be performed for program year 2008. We appreciate the AAA's commitment to work in compliance with all state and federal policies and commend you for your dedication and service to seniors and their caregivers in Middlesex County. So I read it because I know it's a nice birthday gift, Peg. So let's hear it for Peg Chester. And the last thing that I have, the Jersey Central Power and Light, a first energy company, enhanced vegetation management, is committed to improving reliability by targeting the removal of overhanging branches and defective trees. And tonight we have with us Gerald M. Ricciardi, who is the area manager, community and customer relations for Central New Jersey. And I'd like to ask Mr. Ricciardi to speak at this time and bring the board up to speed on what you're doing.
Thank you, Freeholder Director Crabiel, and thanks to the entire board of chosen freeholders for allowing me to speak to you this evening. My title with Jersey Central Power and Light is Area Manager. I work with the 10 towns JCP&L serves in Middlesex County. We provide electricity to the towns of Helmetta, Jamesburg, Monroe, Old Bridge, Sayreville, South Amboy, Spotswood, and then we provide electricity to parts of East Brunswick, Cranberry, and South Brunswick. My job is to be an advocate for my company and a resource to each of you. I'm available to each one of you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And I attached my business card to my presentation, which has my cell phone number on it. So please feel free to reach out to me anytime you might need me. I'm very involved in the communities we serve and support Middlesex County in many ways. I'm on the board of directors for the Middlesex County Chamber of Commerce, and I'm active in the Old Bridge, Sayreville, South Amboy Chamber. We are committed to providing you safe and reliable power. I'm here tonight to talk about an enhanced vegetation management program. Please refer to the packet of information I have provided. I will be brief, just a quick few minutes to go through some of the highlights. If you go to page 2, it just tells you about 25% or 275,000 JCP&L customers will experience an outage caused by a tree in a given year. A tree-related outage results in customers being without electric service for about 5 hours on average. And just as one quick example, last week with that snowstorm that hit October 28th in the northwest part of New Jersey, we got up to 14 inches of snow. Wow. That storm brought trees down and affected 70,000 customers. It took us until Friday to restore all of those customers with help from other utilities as far away as Ohio. There's two major components of the program. Trees that are decaying or in decline or in risk of falling onto JCP&L wires will be targeted for removal. And the other part is any tree limbs that are overhanging our wires will be removed. How this process will work is as follows. We'll perform an inspection of the trees in proximity of JCP&L wires. We will contact the owner of the tree and that is identified as a potential threat. Once the owner of that tree has agreed to the removal of the tree, JCP&L will take down that tree or take down the overhang and dispose of the brush and wood. Again, I want to state that we don't own any trees at all in New Jersey. People own trees, the county owns trees, the municipalities own the trees. So we will contact them to get their permission to remove the trees. The next page, on page 5, is just a picture of one of these hazard trees that came down and, impacted our wires, and you can see it landing on a car. Page 6 is also another picture. Again, you can see the size of that tree came down, broke cross arms, broke poles, and it was quite a lengthy restoration effort. All tree limbs overhanging JCP&L wires, regardless of proximity, shall be removed by pruning the limb back to the trunk. It is proper horticultural standards that if there's a branch overhanging our wires, not to just remove it right here, but to take it all the way back to the trunk for the health of the tree. We're going to look for a wire-to-sky clearance. And the pruning will be performed in a manner that the limbs will grow away from JCP&L wires. The following is just a picture of, this was during an ice storm. And another really, really quick story, February 14th, 2007, if you lived to the north of Rumson, Fairhaven, Little Silver, Red Bank, you had a snow event. If you lived to the east of that, you had a rain event. If you lived in those towns, it was an ice event. That ice storm impacted those towns severely, and we had about a 3-day power outage to get all those customers restored by removing all these branches that had come down onto our facilities. The next is just a picture of our existing program where we trim 15 feet around our wires. Like I said, in the future, we're going to be going all the way up to the sky to get rid of all those overhangs. And the next, again, is just a picture of showing how the limbs have been removed, and it's a conductor-to-sky clearance. So what are the benefits for the counties and the municipalities? First of all, this will reduce the time emergency services and public works personnel are needed to respond to tree-related issues. Next, JCP&L bears the cost of removing danger trees on municipal and county right-of-ways. There'll be a reduction in the amount of life support and critical care evacuations, and we will reduce or eliminate any road closures. The benefit for our customers is to reduce the number and duration of tree-related outages, reduce the severity of the damage that is done, reduce any potential safety hazards, and reduce the adverse impacts on the electrical system during ice and wind events. And the last screen is just a chart. It shows the system average interruption duration index. This is what all utility companies use to measure how long a customer is interrupted, that sees an interruption in their power, okay? We're looking with this power to drive that down to less than 100 minutes per year by the year 2012. And when you think of how many minutes are in a year, less than 100 minutes would be a great thing to see. So that's my presentation really briefly. I'd be glad to answer any questions that the freeholders might have, and if the public has any questions, in the interest of time of the freeholders, I'd be glad to go out into the hallway and answer any questions. Or I can do it here.
Thank you very much. Does any freeholder have any question?
Thank you for your program.
From the presentation? You're doing a good job.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Let's hear it for public service. Proclamations, no action are necessary. Madam Clerk?
We have one proclamation recognizing November 13th, 2008 as National Adoption Day in Middlesex County.
And that will be presented by Freeholder Rafano to adoptive families at a ceremony. Resolutions, action are necessary. Madam Clerk?
The first is recognizing Puerto Rico Discovery Day. Next is recognizing the 325th anniversary of the City of Perth Amboy. Next is recognizing the 100th anniversary of St. Peter's University Hospital. Next is recognizing November 2008 as Lung Cancer Awareness Month in Middlesex County. Next is recognizing the 22nd Annual Vito Racine Spinal Cord Research Dinner. Next is recognizing Freeholder Blanquita B. Valenti as she was honored by the Puerto Rican Association for Human Development at their 22nd Annual Roberto Clemente Gala on October 18th for her leadership and volunteerism. And last is recognizing Andrew McSherry of Boy Scout Troop 33 Milltown as he has achieved his Eagle Scout Award.
And that will be presented by myself at a court honor ceremony. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made by Freeholder Rafano, seconded by Freeholder Rios. Any discussion? Clerk will please call the roll.
Freeholder Fronicola?
Yes.
Freeholder Polos?
Yes.
Freeholder Rafano?
Yes.
Freeholder Rios?
Yes.
Freeholder Valenti?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Crabeel.
Aye. Declare the resolution is duly adopted. Madam Clerk, correspondence?
We were expecting someone from the Lung Cancer Circle of Hope to accept the resolution, but it appears they're not here. So I'll continue. We have a,
Who's going to do it? No, but who's going to do it?
Oh, you know what, I have someone here from the Health Department that, if I could read the resolution on behalf of the Lung Cancer Awareness Month. Can we have the staff that's here from the Health Department? Actually, a few times in the past couple of months, I met this young lady, Susan Levin, that was very active in the lung cancer awareness. She's very active in that, and I just wanted to present this to you, and maybe you can present this when she comes up. November is Lung Cancer Awareness Month, and I think it's very important. I'm not going to read all the whereas and therefores, but it's so important that we bring awareness to lung cancer. Even though it's November, I think it's important that we bring it to the attention of everyone throughout the year, because it's such a bad disease, and especially affecting all our residents, whether you're a smoker or a non-smoker, secondhand smoke, even if it's not smoking, the other hazards that we live in our everyday lives. So if we can take a proactive approach and bring awareness to everyone about lung cancer, I think it's important, and I think it's incumbent upon ourselves to take a strong stand on this. So if you could present this, I would appreciate this.
Okay.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk, correspondence?
we have a public notice from the United States Department of Homeland Security, United States Coast Guard, indicating the desire to replace a bridge over the Black Snake Creek, which is a tributary of Barnegat Bay, along Route 617 in Berkeley Township, Ocean County. A public notice from Jersey Central Power and Light Company, notice of proposed rate increase in connection with proposed new demand response program, and notice of public hearings, which will be held November 13th at 4 p.m. at Morris County Administration Building, and also at 5:30 p.m., same location. From the New Jersey Department of Transportation, we have an advisory indicating that a public information center will be held on the project Route 1 and New Road intersection improvements in South Brunswick Township on Wednesday, November 12th from 4 to 7 p.m. at the South Brunswick Municipal Building. Copy of a resolution from the Mercer County Board of Freeholders recognizing October 2008 as Breast Cancer Awareness Month. A resolution from the Monroe Township Council supporting a revised funding for the Senior Citizens and Disabled Resident Transportation Assistance Program, Assembly Bill 2046 and Senate Bill 1830. A resolution from the Township Council of Woodbridge Township granting permission to the Woodbridge Metro Chamber of Commerce to hold its Main Street Fair and Craft Show on Saturday, May 16, 2009. A copy of the Tourism and Economic Development Guide that Director Crabeel mentioned and Anna Ashkenas mentioned. A copy of the Freehold Soil Conservation District newsletter, fall 2008 issue. A listing of the dates of the Board of Directors for Middlesex County College Retail Services Corporation, their meetings for 2008-2009. From the Middlesex County Utilities Authority, their preliminary budgets for 2009 from the Solid Waste Division and the Wastewater Division. Minutes of the Solid Waste Advisory Council meeting held October 14th. Minutes of the Board of Trustees of Middlesex County College meeting held September 24th. And 2 notes from Emily Chang of Metuchen and Phyllis Muska of Edison, asking the freeholders to continue their support of the Middlesex Greenway and to move ahead with the Greenway's multi-use trail. That's it for the regular correspondence.
You've heard the correspondence. I believe a motion would be in order that it be received and contents noted by various officials.
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Been moved by Freeholder Rafano, seconded by Freeholder Polis.
Yes.
Any discussion? Clerk will please call the roll.
Freeholder Fronicola?
Yes.
Freeholder Polos?
Yes.
Freeholder Rafano?
Yes.
Freeholder Rios?
Yes.
Freeholder Valenti?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Craybill?
Aye. Declare the motion passed.
There's one additional letter from Ronald Grigo, Superintendent of Schools of South River Public Schools, which relates to the open space grant the Borough Public Schools received from Middlesex County for the installation of an artificial turf field at South River High School football stadium. The grant monies in the amount of $1 million have been provided under the Open Space Recreation and Farmland and Historic Preservation Trust Fund. The borough identified Denny Field as the appropriate location for the project. A feasibility study was conducted at the expense of the board, which revealed that although the majority of the funding for the project would come from the grant money, the school district, and also the South River taxpayers would be obliged to fund an estimated $300,000 toward this project, in addition to ongoing operational costs. This letter is to advise that after exhaustive consideration of all aspects of this project, the Board of Education has determined that although the county and the borough's generosity is sincerely appreciated, the financial, logistical, and legal downsides of this project outweigh the benefits. Therefore, the board will not accept these funds for the installation of a lighted synthetic field at the high school football stadium.
Well, you've heard this communication from South River. It would appear to me that maybe it ought to be continued until the next meeting and then decide what our course of action would be.
I think the plan would be to, at the next meeting, to have a resolution to rescind the $1 million funding.
All right, is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Been moved by Rafano, seconded by Polis. Any discussion? Clerk will please call the roll.
Freeholder Fronicola?
Yes.
Freeholder Polos?
Yes.
Freeholder Rafano?
Yes.
Freeholder Rios?
Yes.
Freeholder Valenti?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Craybill?
Aye. Declare the motion passed, and that will be held until the next meeting for further action, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Any other correspondence?
No, that's all.
Motion to accept minutes of October 2nd and 16.
Motion to accept.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. That the minutes be accepted for those two meetings. Any discussion? Clerk will please call the roll.
Freeholder Fronicola?
Yes.
Freeholder Polos?
Yes.
Freeholder Rafano?
Yes.
Freeholder Rios?
Yes.
Freeholder Valenti?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Craybill?
Aye. Declare the motion passed. Resolutions to be amended.
There are none.
Resolutions to be added.
There are none.
Resolutions to be held.
There are none.
Resolutions to be voided.
There are also none.
Public discussion on resolutions listed on the agenda. Does anyone wish to speak on any resolution on the agenda? There's a 10-minute rule. I'll open the public portion at this time. Anyone wish to speak or have any question on any resolution on the agenda?
Move to close the public portion.
Second.
Been moved by Freeholder Polis, seconded by Freeholder Rafano, that the public portion on resolutions be closed. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. Request of freeholders to remove resolutions from the consent agenda and vote separately.
I have two.
Freeholder Valenti.
Page 6, Resolution 08-1911, 1911. And on page 11, Resolution 08-1972, 1972. That's it.
And I have 3.
Freeholder Fernicola?
08, 1949, 1950, and 1951.
Are
They
there
were
any
good
others?
years.
Same page?
First, we'll consider those of,
No, let's do the consent agenda
Is that
first.
when you were born?
you're right.
Motion would be in order to accept the consent agenda consisting of resolutions 08-1877 through 08-1983, excluding resolutions 08-1911, 08-1972, 08-1949, 08-1950, and 08-1951 to be voted upon separately.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Been moved by Rafano, seconded by Rios. Any discussion? Clerk, please call a roll.
Freeholder Fronicola?
Yes.
Freeholder Polos?
Yes.
Freeholder Rafano?
Yes.
Freeholder Rios?
Yes.
Freeholder Valenti?
Yes?
Freeholder Director Krabiel?
Aye. Declare the motion passed. And now, there'll be no objection. We'll consider the ones by Freeholder Valenti together.
Yes. It would be resolutions 08-1911 and 08-1972.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Been moved by Freeholder Rafano, seconded by Freeholder Rios. Any discussion? Clerk will please call the roll.
Freeholder Fronicola?
Yes.
Freeholder Polos?
Yes.
Freeholder Rafano?
Yes.
Freeholder Rios?
Yes.
Freeholder Valenti?
Present, not voting.
Freeholder Director Krabiel?
Aye. Declare the motion passed. And now we'll consider the ones by Freeholder Fernicola.
They would be resolutions 08-1949, 1950, and 1951.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a
Second.
second?
Second.
Been moved by Freeholder Rafano, seconded.
Amy?
Freeholder Fronicola?
Present not voting due to my previous employment by the New Jersey Department of Transportation.
Freeholder Polos?
Yes.
Freeholder Rafano?
Yes.
Freeholder Rios?
Yes.
Freeholder Valenti?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Krabiel?
Aye. Declare the motion passed. Now the privilege of the floor to anyone who wishes to speak or have any question. And if you will honor a 10-minute rule and give your name and address, please.
Good evening. I'm Richard Paul Zuckerman, 255 Seaman Street in Brunswick. And I wanted to, before I mailed it to your home addresses from the website, and that is illegal immigration. Obama wants to give amnesty to 12 million illegal aliens. I believe we have a population problem here. Now, NaplesNews.com had an article on Sunday, November 2nd. It was published, and Collier County, Florida. Naples, Florida is in Collier County. Commissioner of Collier County, Florida, Fred Coyle, noted that illegal immigration costs the county about $77 million each year. What I'd like to know from you people, has anybody ever done an estimate of how much illegal immigration costs Middlesex County, New Jersey? Because what I'd like to do, and I've been saying this for many months now, I've been saying it to the Assembly, the Senators, Congress, U.S. Senate, stop subsidizing illegal aliens and decriminalize marijuana. First, I'm talking about the immigration. And I'd like the clerk here to pass it out. Collier County, Florida, costs how many millions per year? And nobody's ever addressed it. I'd like to know why. Why, if in Monmouth County has now implemented Section 287G, why don't we implement that here so that we can screen these inmates and make sure their immigration status is legit? I believe that we should address the issue of illegal immigration, and I believe we should address the issue of the horrendous costs from the marijuana laws. This is a substance that's a fine medicine, a mild pain reliever. It's an herb. But yet people are being ruined by it. They can't get financial aid if you get convicted of it. You get thrown out of your housing project if you get convicted of it. You get a record if you get convicted in these municipal courts without a jury trial. we need to address the marijuana laws. This past election day, Massachusetts, the people of Massachusetts voted for an initiative to decriminalize an ounce of marijuana. It's a $100 fine in Massachusetts under this new initiative. Michigan, they voted to legalize medical marijuana. We have two bills in the state legislature, A804, Assembly 804, and Senate 119, Senate 19, Senator Scutari's bill and his companion bill by Assemblyman, I don't know, Guskior or Carroll, one of those. And they're pending. But Vitale, the chairman of Senate Health Committee, will not allow a vote on it. And the Assembly has not voted on it. They had a discussion about 6 months ago. They heard testimony from a doctor. We've had people. This is a mild herb our bodies make, endogenous cannabinoids. We didn't know this 20 years ago. The studies are coming out. The gossip newspapers has a study reporting that people got lung cancer from smoking marijuana. Let me tell you something. I've smoked more marijuana than you can fit in this room, and I don't have lung problems. And there are many people who have smoked marijuana, and they do not get lung cancer. And I'm just as sane as any of you. I'm just reacting to my environment the way I act, which is usually pretty mellow. And I want you people to know that this marijuana is a good medicine. There are people who are dying who need medicine, and we ought to entitle them to use it. And we could stop arresting people for marijuana. We could cut the property taxes by stop wasting all this money giving people free health care who are undocumented with national security problems we're not even sure of. Stop subsidizing illegal immigrants. I want you people to give me an estimate. How much does it cost, do illegal immigrants cost this county? And I want to know whether maybe you could give me an estimate about the cost of enforcing marijuana. How many arrests do we have every year? All of these wasted arrests. We're arrested for pot, while Central Intelligence is laundering drug money through Citibank and Bank of America and whatever other federal agency, laundering drug money, distributing crack. You think it's a joke? Well, listen, the CIA Inspector General Fred Hitz rendered a 2-volume report in 1999 with damning evidence that George Herbert Walker Bush caused the crack epidemic. It's corroborated by a book called Dark Alliance by the late Gary Webb, who had to quit his job from the San Jose Mercury News because he was revealing in his column that George Herbert Walker Bush and the CIA were distributing crack cocaine in this country, began with Los Angeles. And it wouldn't surprise me in the least if this southern border problem, this Plan Mexico they call it, giving billions of dollars down to Mexico, we're giving them drugs. Somebody's giving them guns, and they're bringing drugs back. They wouldn't even arrest someone unless they had several pounds coming over from the border. Plan Mexico, it's called. It's probably another false flag operation. And now this Obama, that's another character. Take a look at ObamaCrimes.com. There are other lawsuits against Obama. I don't believe he's an American citizen. His own grandmother said she was with him when he was born in Kenya. His sister gave 2 different hospitals. They don't even know where he was born. So there were lawsuits filed. Mr. Berg filed in Philadelphia, federal court, but the federal judge dismissed it. They weaseled out of it because an individual citizen doesn't have legal standing to challenge the constitutional credentials, qualifications of a U.S. presidential candidate. Well, if an individual citizen doesn't have standing to challenge a U.S. presidential candidate because they don't fulfill the constitutional mandate to be either a naturalized citizen or a U.S. citizen, then who does have standing? There are other lawsuits pending, and we may not win, but this is weaseling out of it. This guy Obama has some pretty nefarious connections, and I don't trust him. I think it's a Homeland Security problem. He wants to give amnesty to 12 million people. He wants universal health care. We're going to end up paying a lot of money. Frank Pallone's been re-elected. He hasn't done a heck of a lot as far as I've noticed. He's letting the illegals. He wants comprehensive immigration reform. We're talking population problem here. Like I said last time, the CIA director warned a university in Virginia on around May 1st, it was reported. He said that immigration surges throughout the world represent a national security challenge here in the United States, that governments are being destabilized because of immigration surges throughout the world. There's a plan to bring 50 million African workers into the European Union. Oh, God, they really want to inundate this country with immigrants. It's just taking our jobs, ignoring our labor laws, ignoring our immigration laws, and people just ignore it like, and I think it's very unfair. I think we ought to, first of all, let's get an estimate. How much are they costing Middlesex County? Are they really worth it? Do we really need them? Please, you talk about the food problem. We ought to submit a bill for industrial hemp. Industrial Hemp Act, Industrial Hemp Farming Act of 2008. Hemp is a wonderful food. Now they have a car getting off that we can use it for a fuel for automobiles. Henry Ford scientists concluded that hemp is a source of fuel, a wonderful source of biomass fuel. Hempcar.org. The U.S. Department of Agriculture put out a movie called Hemp for Victory. It had farmers in the United States sign a log after seeing this movie, which urges farmers to grow more hemp during World War II. World War I, World War II, World War II. We're being denied access to hemp, and now it looks like we're going down little by little, and it just seems so unfair. Why did it take until last year for the U.S. Supreme Court to acknowledge the Second Amendment is an individual right? That's pathetic. And it took until 2006 for the state Supreme Court to require cops to detail their police reports. That's another pitiful thing. And people, you don't care. You have a cushy job. It doesn't affect you, but it affects me. It affects us guys on the streets. We have to, these people, more and more people go to the soup kitchens. And you don't care about the population control because you're comfortable, but it's going to be blowback. There's going to be more blowback. It's a word used in the intelligence field, meaning it comes back and bites us in the butt. And many things that Bush's boys have done have been blowback. Consider, I'd like to know, though, from this, how much illegal immigrants cost Middlesex County? Has anybody done a study on it? Can somebody give me an answer?
John Palomino, the county administrator.
On average, it costs about $73.97 a day per immigrant.
73, may I see the report?
I can get that to you, yeah. I don't have it with me here, but I can get that to you.
Thank you.
You will.
Anyone else wish to speak?
Motion to close.
Second.
Motion made by Freeholder Rios, seconded by Freeholder Valenti, that the public portion be closed. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Motion is in order for adjournment.
Motion.
Second.
Moved and seconded at 8:14 p.m. Non-debatable. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carried. This meeting is adjourned.